Hello, welcome to my channel. The main rule for the quilting is that there are no rules. You will learn, you will watch others, and you will find the methods and ways of quilting that works for you. And that's the most important thing, because you need to find what works for you to be able to enjoy the process. What you will see is my process of working with different materials and different designs, and I hope some of those tips and tricks will help you in your own journey. I've started working on a new project and I'm very excited about that one, but to make it I need some blocks first, so I thought I will do 2-in-1, and I will make a video about a wonky log cabin block in this video, and the second video will be about the new project, which I won't tell you what it is yet because it's going to be a big surprise, at least for me. So what I want to use is the fabric sherd. I've got a lot of sherds cut now to 2.5 strips, 2.5 inch strips, 1.5 inch strips, but I also got a lot of cut-off, so I will do a mix because it's supposed to be wonky. I don't want to have any, like, you know, defined lines for that project, so I will probably use the mixture. So I've got a big box of string scraps, but I also got a big tray of those scraps, as I mentioned, 1.5 inches, and I also got a box of the 2.5 inches, so there's a lot to choose from, but I will go with my box first. So those strings are anything between probably 1 inch and wider, but they don't have a straight edges, so most of them, at least. There's some shorter one, those will be good when you start the log cabin, and the longer pieces will be good for later. So I'm not going to go through it all now. What I will do as I go along, I will just pick up the one from the sherds, like this one, like this one, like this one. This is all sherd fabric, so I'll be picking them up as I go along for my project. I might also use some white. I will see how it get on. Now, to kind of you have a little bit of uniform output from that, I've got quite a lot of those green checkered squares, 2.5 inch squares, so that'll be my middle, and then I will add whatever shades of the sherd fabric colors I've got, and blue is probably majority. I don't know why, but it seems like guys like blue shirts, they don't like many other colors, but I will incorporate as many colors as I can. So I'll just quickly walk you through my process, and then I will carry on. Now I will be making different sizes of those blocks, because for that project I will need to fill in different spaces with it, let's say that way. So I will make some, maybe, I don't know, 6 inches square, some 8 inches square, because, you know, if I have used 2.5 inches strips to make 6.5 inch square block, it's not going to give me a lot of the layers of those log cabin rounds. So that's why I want to use skinny strips for it, so I can have lots of layers even in the small block, like 6.5 inch. So first of all, I'm going to change my foot because I don't need my 1/4 inch one. What you will need is a pair of sharp scissors, because obviously you won't be I won't be measuring like this strip. I won't be measuring that, okay, this is 2.5, I need to cut it 2.5. I won't be doing it. It's a wonky project, so there will be a little bit of ironing only in the ends, and as much as I can I will try to do it without ironing, just to speed up the progress, and to be fair, just to have some fun with fabric. So let's see how it goes. If you like sewing crumbs, you will like wonky log cabin, because it works, at least at the beginning, very similarly. So let's start with 2 of those, and I will try to put them as close as I can, but if I don't, you know, it's not a problem either. Now I don't want to have all of them to be looking the same thing, so just cut it off here. But then now I can use the other side of the fabric, which looks much different, and make maybe 2 more. How many I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I will make 20. I'm cutting it behind so this kind of stays here, so I can carry on chain piecing here. So I'm just going to snip it with the scissors. There's no need to break the heavy machinery to cut it. No need for rotary cutter unless you want to, but it's much quicker to do with the scissors. And I'm just roughly matching the edge against that square I've got in the middle. Okay, as you saw, I'm not very precise in my cutting, but that's fine. It's it will not disturb with anything. So basically I'm now taking another strip. Again, this is definitely not the straight strip, and very similar technique still as the one I showed at my video about the crumb quilting, and I will put it in the description if you want to have a look at that one. I'm just using my fingers like pins. 1, so fabric doesn't shift, but 2, I slightly pull this fabric here, so there is no pleat under that under this bit here, under this seam, and then I just flatten it down and sew through. You may have even noticed that I did not necessarily even went with the same direction, so in a proper log cabin you would need to go on the same side on all of those blocks, but as I go along I either put them up other way, you know, green down or green up. It really doesn't matter with the wonky ones, so it's quite enjoyable stitching. The thing is that on the end it's not necessary that I want to have that that center square actually in the middle of the block, so that's why how you're putting it on the fabric when you're stitching is very flexible. You do what you like basically. Right, so again let's go to the beginning and clip them. Alright, so I've trimmed the blocks and now it's time to add another round. Just maybe use some of those here. Now you have a kind of decision to make here, though it's again really not something to dwell on. You either go that you're now adding this side, or you go and add the bottom side and then side to the right. So really, like I said, I do not necessarily looking for that square to appear in the center of the block. It can appear at any point. That's the whole idea of the wonky log cabin, so just go with the flow. So you see where I cut the fabric, it's not necessarily exactly straight cut. The only thing you need to do is make sure you sew straight now. Whatever that edge looks like is really irrelevant as far as your stitch is straight. Again, I'm not very precise with my cutting. I'm trying to cut that excess here, but it's not very precise. Okay, so this is where we are, and I'll be adding another strip to the block, and I'll be adding them as far as I think I can go without ironing. In some point I'm gonna have to iron it to cut it, but I think I can do at least another 2 or 3 rounds without ironing, and you know, ironing takes a lot of time, so the more work you can do without it, the quicker blocks coming up together. So I will carry on with adding the strips around the blocks, and I will when I get to the point that I do want to ironing, I will come back to the video and show you what the size of the block is, so you kind of have something for the reference. Alright, so I went twice around the center block, and some of my blocks are getting close to 6.5 inch. I haven't ironed in even once those blocks yet. So what I will do, like I said, because they will be ranging between 6.5, 8.5 and maybe 10.5 blocks, I will keep possibly 6 away, and then I will carry on adding the layers to the other ones to make it up to 8.5. I will leave the smaller ones to add on, and I will just go through and pick up my 6.5 inches and put them aside. What I wanted to show you is that even without ironing, they're coming out good, and because it is the wonky block, even if there is a little bit wobble in the lines, that's fine. That's how they're supposed to look like. So, and you can see it here, I even went, you know, more across on diagonal rather than straight, and that's fine too, and I will carry on with that layout. So they look really good. So those which are close to 6.5, I will iron them out. And what the key thing is when you're doing anything with the scraps, I would say, is to use the starch when you're ironing the last time, because that will make everything nice and crisp for you, and then when you want to quilt it, it also will not shift too much, because the starch will keep it in place for you, so it's much easier to quilt it as well. Whether you're doing free motion or just straight stitching, that fabric will not shift as much as your normal top, so just use some starch. So this is how far I've gone with my wonky log cabin block. So I will now choose about 6.5 inch blocks, or 6 blocks of which I can square to 6.5, which this one will be fine, this one will be fine. So I need 6 of those. I'll put them away, don't have to square them up yet, I just need to make sure they are the right size. This one, 3. So these ones are going to go to the project box already, and I will carry on making these ones bigger. So the next size I want to make is 8.5 inch. I use here mainly my shirt fabric strips from the cut up button up shirts. So one of them had that, you know, the design on the shirt, so I've included it as well. That would look quite nicely. I think I will have a look in my scrap box whether I've got some more of those with other details on, to make sure they are going to go to the quilt as well. So there will be some nice bits and pieces coming up from the design. Okay, so I finished a batch of the blocks to square up to 8.5 inches. and I will quickly do that now. And I still got my 10.5 inches to do, so I'll carry on, but I will show you what I've made so far, and you can have a look at what they look like when put together. So let me just show you how I square them up. Where I did like very wonky side of it, I actually want to include it in the block, so I'm scooping to the side where I will have the most of it. I might even go like this a little bit. No, let's do it this way. Right, so I finished first batch of my wonky blocks. So those ones are 8.5, this is 10.5, and you've got 6.5 inch. And though I need it for a different project, not for the quilt, I just set them off together like this to show you that it will really make a very nice quilt if put together. And you can obviously mix and match blocks, because you could make them easily 4.5, and then if you put 4 together, then obviously you have an equivalent of 8.5. Or you have 6.5 here, 2 of them, you can make 12.5 inch block and mix them up this way as well. So that's very versatile project. But what I wanted to show you is just few details, like I have not always keep that routine that you add, you know, in certain directions. Sometimes I, you know, went different direction when I was adding the strips. Strips are different width. They are not totally straight. Look at this one, this wonky one here. Also, the center is not actually the center in most of the blocks anyway, and that's all adds to the scrappiness of that project. So I quite like how it looks. And you know, all of those fabrics I use in it are from the shirts. So if you have some shirts or some fabrics shirt type, great project to use them up for. But I've made those type of blocks with other, you know, cotton, any other color for the kids. For like color coordinated, and they always look great. And it is very easy, enjoyable process of sewing, because you don't have to worry about, you know, angles or making it straight, because at the end that's the type of the block you want to go for. And the only thing is that when you're doing the last ironing before squaring it up, use the starch, because that makes that block later nice and sturdy for you to work with. All of those seams then laying nice and flat for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And because you're squaring each block individually, it's a very beginner friendly project, because those blocks you know, they will go together very easily, because they will be exact the same, which sometimes you cannot kind of get to that size when you're putting small pieces together in the pattern. So I love this type of blocks because they're just so easy to do, and you can do, you know, add that bit 20 times, put it away, come back, add some, you know, all around, put it away, add another round, put it away. So if you don't have a lot of time to spend when you're doing the sewing, that's a good project to go with, because you don't have to worry that, oh, I have to stop, I don't know where I need to start from. You can just start wherever, and that will look good as well. Like I said, those blocks are for not quilt, but I've made few quilts in that pattern as well, so they look really good. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and leave some comments. If there's something missing in the tutorial you're not sure, just please make sure you ask the question. I'm happy to answer any comments. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel to support my work. For further inspiration and examples of my work, you can check my Instagram or Facebook page. Happy creating!